Okay, we're on week 8 of our Bible study, Women in the Bible and You. Women of the Bible and You, I'm sorry. Okay, it's called Beauty for Ashes. Bible verse is Isaiah 61:3. To console those who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. It had been about 6 months since we'd broken up, but you wouldn't have known it. We were still doing all the things the couples do. Going on dates, talking on the phone, texting, but I was far from happy in love. The cycle of pain I willingly participated in with him left me wounded over and over again. I could almost pinpoint when the tide would turn. We'd be together, enjoy each other's company, go on a few dates, then he would go silent, and I would be left hurt. A few days later, like the morning sun, he would come back. I was safe and sure, a place he could always return to once he was ready. Longing to keep the connection and unable to face the reality of the loss, I would allow him back. It was draining. It was painful, but it was mine. It wasn't like I didn't know I was making a mistake. I knew this was going to keep hurting me, but I kept choosing it anyway. I knew I needed to walk away, but I had no idea how. Before we broke up, we had been so in love. I told my girlfriend, my voice cracking through the tears, I've waited forever to feel like this about somebody, and now I have to give it up. And for 6 more months, I didn't. I couldn't. Have you ever been there? Stuck in a place so unhealthy, so draining, that it almost becomes dangerous. Carrying around the corpse of a long-dead relationship shifts your mental and emotional state. It's over, and you know it, but you can't fully admit that to yourself or bring yourself to bury it. During those months, I was desperately sad all the time. I would get just enough energy to go to work and go home and go to sleep. Occasionally, if I had to preach, God's anointing would fall and give me what I needed to get through this, but afterwards, I'd be right back in the throes of depression. Those were really dark days, but in time, God snatched me back from the despair that had overcome me. I started attending a small group at church that was focusing on breaking bad habits. One of my group members pointed out the fact that not only was I fiercely protecting and carrying around the ashes of my dead relationship, but whenever I managed to drop them, I'd just sweep them back up and hold on to them again. That was so true. That's when God made a deal with me. If I gave God my ashes, God would give me beauty in exchange, just like in this week's Bible verse. Though I didn't know how to let go, I told God, the next time I dropped the ashes of my relationship, the next time my sort of ex-boyfriend disappeared, I would not pick them up. I would finally accept that it was really over. And like clockwork, it happened. He went silent again, on Valentine's Day, of all the times. It hurt, but I knew that was my moment. That was my chance to, for once, let the ashes lie there and walk away. By the grace of God, I did just that. And the beauty God has given me in the years since has been more incredible than I can express. These days, I have lasting love, joy in my work, and the deepest contentment I've known. Everything isn't perfect, but it's genuine. What ashes do you need to let fall to the ground for good? What beauty are you missing out on because you're still grasping the dead things that do you no good? Consider giving the ashes back to God. Trust the Lord to lift the heaviness and make way for more joy, more beauty, more peace, more love, more of everything that you need.